Hello everyone, this is Sloth from Sloth and Moose. We're going to have another Starcraft 2 commentary. I will be spawning as the Red Zerg in the bottom middle of this fine map, Metalopolis. Really a fan favorite for watching replays. One of my favorite to play just because it's, I feel it's a really even map for all races, especially depending on, well, it depends. I mean, if you're playing against a Terran that is in this position and you're a Zerg, you already have a disadvantage, or if it's a Protoss. But today we're not going to have a Zerg or a Protoss or Terran. We're going to have a Zerg versus Zerg. I like Zerg versus Zerg a little bit more lately. I've been getting a lot more used to it. It just requires a lot more micro than I usually like to output, you know. But we'll see what goes down. Did look like this guy used the extractor trick. I don't know if he forgot his overlord or if he does that every time. I don't like doing it because honestly, I mean, look at his minerals. It's 140. It doesn't go up to like the even number, which really annoys me. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't go in increments of 10. It goes 4, 8, 12, blah blah blah. It really annoys me because I'm kind of a perfectionist. But anyway, I did just play this game. I am playing against a diamond player, and I am still in gold for whatever reason. It will not rank me up for anything, and I think I've won like 9 of my last 10 or 12 games or something like that, and pretty much all of them have been against either platinum players or diamond players, except one. One placed me against a silver, which didn't make much sense. But anyway. Not really sure why it's not ranking me up, but this guy was in Diamond, so we'll see how I fare up in this Zerg versus Zerg. I did go 15 extractor, 14 hatch. I saw that it said slightly favored on the game screen whenever it was loading up, and this guy, oh, there's his pull. I didn't know if he had his pull up yet. Did get his gas. Probably going to see Zergling speed or Banelings or going to early roaches, but anyway, I did see that he was slightly favored, which told me that he was either a platinum player or a diamond player. And upper level gaming guys, there's not a lot of 10 pulls and 6 pulls or whatever the hell you want to do. There's not a lot of cheese like that. It makes it's really standard opening, just because like people have that amount of respect for each other to not do cheese like that. But what happened was right here was I decided to get my 100 gas, go ahead and get Zergling speed researching, and then pull these drones back, and then I went ahead and went to my hatchery after my spawning pool and gas, and he is choosing to stay on gas and not expand. So this tells me, since he is getting Zergling speed as well, he will be throwing down that Baneling nest, and there's the Baneling nest right there. And he's going to be producing off of 1 base, whereas I will be producing off of 2. So I have 6 Zerglings on the field, 4 more on the way. Probably a little overkill. I mean, I'd hate Zerg versus Zerg. There's almost always a lot of early pressure, even in upper level. I mean, you know, it's just a lot of early pressure. I do like that he got the extra queen. I tend to not do this very often. I'm really bad about it, and that was really beautiful timing on his second queen. As soon as he laid that creep tumor down, the eggs spawned, and then his other queen hatched, and then he re-entered the larva. So I'm going to move out with a few Zerglings. This is mainly for scouting. I am going to scout out that he has this hatchery. Well, actually, I might not right here. I do see his Zerglings moving out. He's got quite a lot of them. He's looking to put forth some early pressure too, and his Zergling speed is almost up. I do not feel comfortable engaging right here. I probably could have tried to pick off a couple right there and then kept running, but I waited for these reinforcements and then kept going. So he did see that I was going quite a lot of Zerglings as well. I would expect him to pull back here, probably make some Banelings, get ready for that, me to maybe move in and hopefully be able to pick off and have me not micro at all against his Banelings. But we'll see. He's producing 10 Zerglings, I'm producing 10 Zerglings. He's moving on across the field. I did just run by him right there. He was on run command and not move command. I mean, he was on move command and not attack command. So my hatchery's up. His is 3/4 of the way done, a little over, and he's gonna have 5 Banelings right here against all these Zerglings. I mean, 1 Baneling like right there could probably take out all these Zerglings, but if I micro correctly, I might be able to handle it He's going to have quite a lot more Zerglings. He wants to end this game early, as in all Zerg versus Zergs. I do notice the Banelings, and I do not micro. I try to pull away right there. I start producing a few more Lings, and it's not looking good for me right here. I do have to like try and pick off these Banelings one at a time, and he just tears me up again. So I pull the rest of my Zerglings back, and he did not continue to engage because he did lose quite a lot of Lings while he was trying to get those Banelings up in my army to take them out. So I do have a Roach Warren going down now. I just hate dealing with Banelings if I'm just going Zerglings. It was too late for me to get Banelings. Banelings versus Banelings are not exactly fun to watch, not exactly fun to play either. It's really, really micro intensive, which, I mean, I like doing micro some of the time, but I mean, if I gotta constantly do that, I just get worn out. I do have a decent Overlord placement to watch for, say, mutas or any other kind of crazy play, like some drop Overlords, you know. Roach Warren now up. He is making an Overseer right here. This is going to give him extra HP and make it a lot faster, so he's going to be able to scout out as much as he wants. I'm just continuing to drone up at this point. Let's look at the Hofster tab. I have 33 over his 27. I am really oversaturated at my main. I would expect myself to go ahead and move some over here. Come on. Come on. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. Anyway, he did scout out that I did switch to Roaches, so he is going to go ahead and get his Spire. He's going to get 12 more Lings. I do think this was a mistake. I mean, he is overly defending himself right here. He's got 3 spawns right here, creating 12 more Zerglings. Those 12 Zerglings could be 6 more drones. He's continuing to make drones, but I mean, he's got these 3 Banelings outside for defense. He's got these 3 Spawn Crawlers for defense, and then he made more Zerglings. I guess he just felt like he wanted to have a more mobile defense, so he did pump out some more Zerglings, and it does look like we are both going to drone up pretty hard. I'm producing 11 at the moment. He's producing 5, so really risky. I mean, I felt comfortable. I felt that he wouldn't want to push in now. He'd be tech switching to mutas, which is exactly what he's doing. He's got his Spire going up, so I did throw down another gas. You will see me throw down an Evo Chamber in a second because I'm not really going to have much for the mutas. There goes my Evo Chamber. And then, of course, with the Evo Chamber, I will go Spore Crawlers. Throwing down all 4 gases, and not really completely necessary for the build I'm going. These 4 gases aren't. I mean, 3 would be perfectly fine. But the only reason I did this is because I'm oversaturated at both bases. Transferred a few too many there. A lot too many, actually. I've only got, how many is that? Like 8, 10. Probably could put a few more back, but I did throw down these 2 gases simply because I felt I was oversaturated at both bases. Little did I know I was not. But you do see me throwing down. I'm getting quite a few Spore Crawlers, and I feel this is necessary simply because I hate dealing with mutas in my base when I don't have much. You know, you just have a queen or whatever. That's an easy way to lose the game. But I did see that he had the mutas out as my Spawn Crawlers were being made. He's going to pick off these Overlords that are just sprawled out over here, you'll see. And my Spore Crawlers are now done, so those mutas right now, until they get in huge numbers, should not be a problem at all. He does have all 4 gases running. He's got pretty much fully operational at both bases. Could use a few more on his main, but so could I. And transfer a few more back right there if you didn't notice. I'm getting missile attacks level 1, so this is going to tell you, I mean, I have to deal with mutas eventually with my army. I mean, these Spore Crawlers are holding off for a while, but I do have to deal with them for a while. I do have to deal with them with my ground army eventually, so I'm going to go ahead and throw down a Hydra Den. And Hydras are pretty damn good against mutas, in my opinion. So I'm going to have that level 1 attack going, and I'm going to have a lot of extra gas. Move one more drone over there, please, Sloth, please. No, I'm not going to. But anyway, I put 2 on that gas on accident if you didn't notice. I do move these Roaches back here, and I have my Overlords in a pretty decent position to be protected by the Spore Crawlers. I will start Groove Spawns, because Hydras are not near as good without Groove Spawns. It does look like he saw these Lings, and I did move these Lings up here because I was planning to go and delay this expansion. Figured, I mean, he's upper level player, he's probably going to be expanding again at this point, which is what I should be doing, but it's really hard to expand when your opponent has map control with this many mutas. I'm going to go up here, I'm going to try and take out this hatch. and he does cancel it, and he pulls back with his mutas at that point. I mean, look at this pressure right here. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do much with these lings. He's got banelings, he's got his own lings, he's got queens, he's got a lot of banelings actually. These banelings are virtually useless now considering how many roaches I have. This is really just like a scout. This is something to keep him, like, hopefully get him to mess up. He is slipping on his macro. He's at 1200 and 400 minerals and gas, whereas I am really low because Roach Hydra, you can spend minerals pretty easily. But right there, I mean, I just threw him off. These units are out of place. He only has one drone, he's missing one drone on his main gas, which you need all, what is it, 12 drones on gas if you're going to go a heavy, heavy muta build. So I do have quite a few Hydras out. It's going to be able to fend off all these mutas. He's not going to be able to do much. But I do have level 2 attacks coming, and I do decide to have all this extra gas because I've had 4 gas this entire time. I threw down another Evo chamber, and I should start pumping out ground carapace level 1, and there that goes. So just continuing with the Roach Hydra, I am going to plan to move out pretty soon. He honestly does not have much. He did make a lot more banelings there. Do they have tunneling claws? Hold on, let me see. They do have tunneling, not tunneling claws. Roaches have tunneling claws. They do have, excuse me, they do have the really fast, the roly ball. How do I not remember that? Anyway, he is taking the high yield. I probably could use some more Zerglings just to go out and scout out and try and prevent these expansions, but he is double expanding. He's got a lot of extra minerals, and I've been spending all my minerals on a pretty decent army. So right here, he loses this muta. He must just not had it in the right place. I did kill my own roach there, if you didn't notice. And then I killed both of his overlords. But he's got a lot of spawns, he's got a lot of banelings, he's got a lot of lings, he's got quite a lot of mutas. So I don't feel comfortable engaging right here. Those spawns are going to tank for a pretty long time for those banelings to get in there and do some damage on my Hydras. So right here I decide, I mean, I'm not the best at micro or whatever, but I feel I have to put my roaches in front of my Hydras, of course, because I saw so many banelings right there. Right here I didn't even think about it. I should have moved up here. I have map control. I should have made sure he didn't have an expansion, but I did not expect him to have the high yield simply because I had just fended off this one. He did transfer to that expand, and he wants to move out right here. I have a few units pretty well spread out, and I have to pull them back behind my roaches, pull the rest of my, there goes my Hydras. I'm going to pull them behind my roaches, and these roaches just tank all of that damage from the banelings and just roast up the lings, as well as the Hydra's doing a good job against the lings. So producing 2 more Hydras. I should be producing a lot more roaches soon, as well as some more Hydras. I've got a lot of money saved up at this point. I'm just waiting for larva, I believe. No, I have larva, and I'm just not making any units, guys. I'm just choosing not to. I'm going to take out this expand relatively easy. I do have level 2 done. I'm not going to have level 3, and I don't even think I start level 3 or level 2 on the armor. And, he's got an alright force to deal with this, but roaches are just so good against lings, and he's making more banelings, which I think was a pretty big mistake. And right here, if these 3 spine crawlers get up, then I'm probably gonna have a little bit of trouble with them. I would have liked to see him move his spines right, like make a complete wall in with these 3 spines. Hopefully, like if I started to move into these spines like I'm about to do, and these spines would maybe hold me off long enough for these to get done, but we'll see. I did bring him reinforcements. You did see him moving across the mini-map if you were paying attention. And, we'll see how I do against this. I'm going to focus down these spines with my roaches after I kill all these lings, and then I'm going to focus down all the mutas with my Hydras, and I'm continuing to produce Hydras and roaches at my main. Got a decent reinforcing army for when I need it. And right here I decided to not go after the drones. I know I killed this expand, so I mean I just need to kill a hatchery. You can't really get minerals if you don't have a hatchery, you know. I do kill off a few drones right there. Should be pulling my reinforcements. Here come just Hydras. I guess I misclicked and forgot my roaches. I'm gonna move my roaches in here, try and focus down his lair, and we'll see how that goes. I do kill his queen, and I'm not going to be able to do much against all of these mutas that are now popping out. That's quite a lot of mutas, but I mean, this is quite a lot of Hydras. Hydras are, especially, does he have any upgrades? He has one attack upgrade on his mutas, and I've got 1-2 on my hydras. Try and pick off a few drones, and then I come back over here, decide I want to focus down this hatchery, and I see his mutas, and I don't know what he does right here, but I put my guys on hold, kill 2 mutas, 3 mutas, 4, and then 5, 6 mutas, 7. I killed almost all of his mutas right there, and mutas against hydras are not very good unless you have banelings and zerglings in the mix. He said he effing hates ZVZ. I used to. I've gotten a lot better at it. It's really about holding off the early game and being able to. It's really about holding off the early game and being able to get your economy a lot better than your opponent. I mean, right there, I delayed his expand. I got up in here with some zerglings, just kind of like delayed some stuff. I mean, you got to make your opponent off easy, especially in mirror matchups. I mean, that's rule in every game. Just make your opponent uneasy, make him really nervous, and make him on edge. You know, I did have my third going up, and I was transferring drones because I was getting mined out in my main. I did feel really comfortable on 2-base Roach Hydra simply because I delayed this expand. That was the main reason I stuck with it without expanding. And, well, I didn't know he had this, but he didn't have it saturated at all. So, but yeah, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this cast. It was a fun game for me. I was really excited to see that I beat a diamond player. And I guess that's about it. So, I'll see everyone next time. And subscribe to Sloth and Moose.